Folks, if we get our seats, we'll start in just a moment. Maybe 2 moments. Ladies and gentlemen, the Governor of the great state of West Virginia, Jim Justice.
Thank you, sir. Good to see you. Okay. Go to it, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello, baby.
Welcome, everyone, to our beautiful state capitol. My name is Bill Bissett. I'm the president and CEO of the Huntington Regional Chamber, a chamber that represents Cabell and Wayne counties and 550 businesses in and around my hometown of Huntington. We're here today to talk about transportation. And when I worked for the Department of Transportation years ago here at this capitol, I remember every time we spent $1 on maintenance or construction, it truly connected to economic development. That every dollar spent had a direct effect not only on an economy and that construction, but the dividends beyond that to our business community. And that's what we're talking about today. How state and federal leaders can work together with their strong leadership to make things work, to capitalize on their positions to help the people of West Virginia. And I want to recognize some people who are not speaking today before we get to our short list of speakers, because we have some elected speakers and, elected officials and other dignitaries in the room I want to recognize. With Senator Capito's office, she couldn't be with us today. She is in the state, but had other meetings, and she hated to not be here. But we have Emily Kinner with Senator Capito's office. We can hold our applause to the end. We also have the West Virginia Senate, Bob Plymel with us. Senator, thanks for being here. With the West Virginia House, Ken Hicks. We appreciate you. We also have the Cabell County Commission, Kelly Sabonia here. Commissioner, thanks for joining us. And from the Wayne County Commission, we have Bob Paisley and Jeff Maddox. Commissioners, appreciate you. And also with the Wayne County EDA, we have Park Ferguson joining us today. Park, where are you? Right there. Thank you, Park. His counterpart in Cabell County, Dave Living, couldn't be here today. He's stuck in Huntington with a meeting, but sends his regards. We also have Steve Roberts, a good son of Huntington with the State Chamber. Steve, thank you for joining us. And also the president of Marshall University joining us, Jerry Gilbert. Go Herd. Good to see you, Mr. President. And let's get started with our discussion today, because what we're talking about is Huntington Tri-State Airport, HTS, as we know it from our airplane tickets. And the best person to talk to you briefly about the airport is its director, Brent Brown. Brent?
Well, thank you. Thank you all for being here and showing your support today. Airports are an important part of our transportation system, and it's been a real pleasure working with Congresswoman Miller's office, Senator Capito's office, and of course Governor Justice. They see the value in our airports in West Virginia, and that's what we're here to talk about today. We have a pond on our airport south of the runway safety area. And that pond was originally designed back in the 50s to be a detention pond, and it is no longer draining. So it's created this giant 14.5-acre pond. It's about 72 feet deep. And the state DEP notified us and said, hey, that is not a legal dam that you have there. So what can we do to correct it? So we went ahead and drained this pond, and it exposed a giant slide right on our runway safety area. And so we are, with the efforts of the federal government and, of course, the state of West Virginia, we are looking for funds and support to stabilize this slide and improve this drainage for this pond so that we can meet both the state and federal requirements. I just, again, want to thank the efforts of Congresswoman Miller. She's been great. She hasn't been in Congress very long, but she's already made huge strides for our state, and particularly HTS, so thank you. And Governor Justice, I just want to thank you for your support and all that you do for our state and for our airport. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Nancy Cartmill. She is with the Cabell County Commission, but she's also here today in her role as chair of the Airport Authority at the Huntington Tri-State Airport. Commissioner Cartmill is a longtime family friend, and she has a great interaction with this airport. We need her leadership. We appreciate her being here today and to share her comments with us. Commissioner Cartmill.
Thank you so much, Bill. I could tell you I've known him since he was about that tall. And I could tell you lots of stories, but we won't do that today because it's a real pleasure to be here to say thank you in a very big way to the governor of this great state of West Virginia for the tremendous amount of support that he has shown for the Tri-State Airport, an airport that's so terribly important to those of us, not only in West Virginia, but in Ohio and Kentucky. And I want you to know we have a great airport director who does a tremendous job for our airport. And since he's been there, we've seen lots of improvements happen, and they continue to happen. And so our airport is very much alive and well, and we're really pleased about that. A lot of small airports are not doing what we're doing. So we feel like that we have a tremendous director. We also have a great board of directors. And I want to recognize those folks who come to the meetings every month and help make plans for the airport and all work together in a really big way. And that is so important because so many times now you find people pulling in different directions, and everybody must work together if you want to accomplish things. Very pleased to see Carol Miller, and thank you for your support. It has been tremendous, and we really do appreciate that. I've known Carol a long time. She makes a great congresswoman, but she's also a very good friend. And we appreciate you being here today and for your support for the airport as well. I also want to say that the commissioners in Wayne and Cabell County have worked with me on being president of the airport and doing the kinds of things that we need to do to help out as much as we possibly can. And I want to thank them for being here today as well. Governor Justice, once again, thank you so much for helping us and supporting our airport. We do appreciate it. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Carol Miller. She's a freshman congresswoman, but she doesn't act like it. She is already connected to leadership. She has hit the ground running in D.C., and the people of the 3rd District are very appreciative, not only of your work, but how well you've done in that leadership capacity. I've known Congressman Miller for a long time, much like the commissioner said, and she is truly a public servant, a public leader who has taken that information back to D.C. and bringing much-needed funds back here at home to the 3rd District. Congresswoman Miller, please come up join us.
Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. It's so good to see so many of my friends here in the audience, people that I've served with and worked with through the years. When I was elected, I worked really hard to be put on transportation and infrastructure because I know how very important it is to our economic development for our state. And I do want to thank our governor for his commitment and all that he has done to help us, particularly now in Wayne County and our tri-state area. I'm sorry that Shelley wasn't able to be here today. I go way back with Shelley, and the night that I was sworn in, she came up to my office to pin me with this pin. And I have the most precious picture of both my granddaughters watching Shelley pin the new Republican woman who was also serving for West Virginia. And so to me, it just brings more of this home to how important West Virginia is to us. And as a family, we all work together to push our state forward. Aerospace, airports, all of that is so very important for our economic development. And I'd love to see us be an aerospace hub in the years coming forward. So again, I want to thank all of you all, the director and Nancy and just everybody that I've worked with for so many years. The Transportation and Infrastructure Committee is the most bipartisan committee that we have in Congress. And in this particular time when tensions are high between people, it's wonderful to be able to be on a committee that is working to move our entire country forward and our state of West Virginia. Thank you all, and God bless.
Thank you, Congresswoman. It's great to have strong leadership in D.C., but we have to have strong leadership here at home as well. And that's what we have with Governor Justice. It really, the $10 million that Congressman Miller was able to secure for our airport does not come to this state unless we have the support of Governor Justice, his staff, and the $1 million that this governor is about to announce. It was literally a critical component to making all this happen, Governor. We have our great thanks for your support. You are in a tough job, and we're all trying to make sure you do well, because we'll do well with Governor Jim Justice.
Thanks, everybody coming, first and foremost. You know, and I didn't really plan on saying anything like, about this, but Bill and our Congresswoman here, our senators, our delegates, our commissioners, our president of Marshall University, the media, everybody's here. Even my ex-chief of staff is here, and Nick Casey. You should be very, very proud of yourselves and all the stuff that we're doing for West Virginia, because it's better today. We still got a long ways to go, and but we're really moving in the right direction. Now, let me just say this, that I was in South Hall about 10 after 10 one night. South Hall was on the Marshall campus. It was raining outside. And all of a sudden, the word came that our plane carrying our football team and a lot of dear friends was possibly crashed. A lot of those people were really, really close friends of mine. And, I hadn't planned on even halfway mentioning that, but I sit here and think about, an airport, and all of us should know that airports are our heart. They're our lifeblood. They're the very first thing that we have to start growth. I always believe it's just this way. It's airports, it's schools, it's roads. And then from there, all the other stuff just seems to fall in place. But I can't think that, first of all, from the standpoint of you've got part of the runway is endangered. For God's sakes, a living. And this airport is, again, the heart, the lifeblood. And then you've got, just the thought of the very thing that probably stands in my mind so often, my love for Marshall University, my love for our state, the terrible tragedy that we went through down there. That night, will stain all of us and scar all of us forever. But so basically the long and short of it is the powers to be all came to Carol and to myself and said, okay, now look, we got a real problem here, and we got to find $1 million in order to be able to get Carol's $10 million. And Carol's standing with the $10 million, but I got to come up with $1 million to get her 10. Well, we get it done, and we just do it, and that's all there is to it. So I thank all of you in every way. We just scramble around and find a way, and so we're off and going. So again, I applaud all of you, and hope and pray you can see if you look close at my face, when I start talking about that night, it still brings tears, and it's really tough, because gosh, so many families, and what it did to our school, and then how we rebounded, and just the feelings, the joy from the rebound. So anyway, it's a good day, and I'm glad to be a real part of it. Surely wasn't any hesitation on my part, and we just had to be able to find the money somehow. So we did it, and I salute our commerce people and everybody working in my office, and we're off and going. So I hand it back over to you, Brother Bill.
All right. Thank you, Governor. That concludes our news conference for today. I know some folks will be around for comments afterwards, but again, thanks to everyone who came out today. I appreciate a lot of people come in from Huntington. We got a beautiful state capitol here. Walk around and see it. It's awesome. Thanks so much. We're adjourned.